Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Megan. This is a bit of a different video. I know I've been doing not a lot, but I've been doing more sit-down type of videos recently. I apologize if my voice sounds weird or if it's kind of scratchy or whatever the case may be. I am getting over a cold at the moment, and I'm going to actually set this over here for more stability. There we go. Now, the quality isn't the best, but it's what I got, so whatever. But this is going to be a different video because for the past 6 or 7 years, maybe 8 years, I have always identified as bisexual. I have dated women, I've dated men, and there's nothing wrong with either of them. I still am open to dating a man, I'm still open to dating a woman, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're bisexual, pansexual, straight, gay, lesbian, it doesn't matter. You like who you like, and okay. But recently I have been thinking a lot more about whether I genuinely am bisexual or not. I honestly couldn't tell you an exact answer, but at the current moment of Saturday, January 18th, 2020, I'm very confused about my sexuality again, and I've had little moments of confusion in the past where I've questioned, am I really sexually attracted to women? Am I really sexually attracted to men? Am I sexually attracted to both? Neither? All of the above? I've had little moments like that, but I haven't really given it much thought past the question. I've never really gone in depth into it. I've never fleshed it out, so to speak. I've never actually looked into it. So today, well, not today, but for the past week, I have been thinking a lot about my sexuality and what I believe to be true about myself at the current moment, because for the past 7 years, I have 100% believed and do believe that for the past 7 years, I have been bisexual. I have dated men, I've dated women. I said this already. One of the best relationships I've had was with a woman, and one of the best relationships I've had was with a man. So I see the appeal of both sides, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I've recently been put in a situation where I, in a sense, have to choose between two people. I shouldn't say choose between two people. I'm put in a situation where my heart and my brain are conflicted between two people. And I'm not going to say the names of these people, but I'm going to just say, there are two people in my life, one that I really want to be with and one who really wants to be with me. The one that I want to be with, I'm not going to use a real name, so I'm going to use different names. The one I want to be with, his name is Steven. And the one who wants to be with me, his name will be Shane. So Steven and Shane. Steven was my first long-term relationship. He was my first long-term relationship. Before him, the longer relationship was with a woman, and it was for about 1.5 years, but that's a different story. If you want to hear about my experience of dating a girl, I would gladly tell it. I mean, obviously I would ask her permission beforehand about certain things that I would maybe want to share, but if you guys are interested in that, let me know and I'll see what I can do. But, so Steven and Shane. Steven was my first long-term relationship with a boy. He and I dated for 3 years, relatively. We got along well, he challenged me, he caused me to think about things, and I love him. I still love him. I always will love him. And he's the guy I want to be with. But then there's Shane. And Shane and I dated in the past about 4-ish years ago. And he recently popped back into my life on December 31st, 2019. So New Year's Eve of 2019. He popped back into my life. And I've always gotten along with him. I have no ill feelings against him. There's nothing wrong with him. We dated, and it was a long-distance relationship, which is difficult for me. So that was the main reason why the relationship with me and Shane ended in the first place, was because of the distance. I didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it. And we just grew apart, and we were young and stupid. I was 15, and I believe he was 17 at the time. And then after I broke up with Shane, I started dating Steven. And Steven and I had been friends for, I want to say maybe 2 years. He and I had been friends for 2 years before we started dating. And when we did start dating, it was great. I love him. I loved him then. I love him now. But Steven and I are not communicating at the moment. For just personal reasons, and I hope you will respect that they are personal reasons. He and I are not communicating at the moment, and I want to say now, I'm not making this video to get his attention. I'm not saying this video to get Shane's attention. I'm not making this video for any type of attention. I'm just basically getting what's on my brain out of my brain. But I love Steven to death. He's an amazing man. He is loving, he's sweet, he's kind, he's infuriating at times, I will admit. But so is Shane. He's kind, he's smart, he's funny, and he's infuriating at times. But everyone is. So, whatever. The point here is, Shane and I dated 4 years ago. And I believe, if I remember right, the duration of our relationship lasted 8 months. Something like that. And yeah, I believe it was 8 months. So Shane and I dated for 8 months. And it was great. It was a good first genuine relationship with a boy I could have ever asked for. And like I said, the main reason we stopped dating was because of distance, which I feel like is understandable. I live in America, obviously. He lives in Europe. So, yeah, it's different, that type of distance. But Steven and I were intimate. Steven and I were very intimate. Physically, mentally, emotionally. We were intimate. I kissed him. I did things to him. He did things to me. And I'm just going to leave it at that because, like I said, I'm not going to say anything, really. But, to put it simply, we were intimate. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I have been convinced since I was in 7th grade that I was bisexual. But now that an attraction to Steven and an attraction to Shane is here, I have been thinking more that I am demisexual. And, excuse me, let me look up the definition of demisexual because I don't want to give away misinformation. A demisexual is a person who does not experience sexual attraction unless they form a strong emotional connection with someone. It's more commonly seen in, but by no means confined to, romantic relationships. So basically, that being said, the best way I can explain it, and the best metaphor I've ever heard that has been said to me how to explain it, is you are a door. You as a person are a door. And every other person in the world is a key. You could love 50 keys, and none of them will fit the lock to unlock your door. I 100% believe that I have found the person that fits my door. And I don't want to hurt anyone, and I don't want to do anything that could potentially jeopardize any type of relationship I have with these two men. I love Steven. I'm just gonna go out and say it. I love Steven. I messed up in that relationship with him. I take full blame for everything that I did wrong. I take full blame for everything I said when I shouldn't have said it, everything I didn't say when I should have said it, everything I did that was wrong, everything I didn't do which was wrong. Everything that I messed up on, I take full responsibility for. And I can't really do anything other than that, because, like I said, Steven and I aren't talking at the moment. But this is probably an only me type of situation where this actually sounds like a Netflix original, where it's like, girl wants boy but can't have boy, but other boy wants girl, but girl doesn't want other boy. I don't know. I feel like this is an only type of me situation that can happen. But I am very close with Shane. I feel I am very close with Steven. And I've only been in a situation one other time that has caused me to question my sexuality. And that was my first relationship with a girl. Because at that time, when I was in that relationship, I didn't know if I was bisexual. I didn't know if I was doing it just to please her or if it was something I actually wanted. I'll tell you now, it was something I actually wanted. I love her so much. And I hope she's doing well. But Steven and Shane are two very important people in my life, and I don't want to hurt either of them. But dragging Shane along for a potential for me to say no is not right. And this all ties back to me thinking I'm demisexual because Shane has attempted to be intimate with me, with my consent, has attempted to be intimate with me for the past 2 weeks or so. And yes, I love him. Yes, I want to visit him someday. Like I said, I live in America. He lives in Europe. yes, I want to visit him. Yes, I someday want to see him. And I have made a few promises to Shane that I would fulfill and will fulfill before I die. One of them being I will give him a hug and I will cook him a traditional American meal, whatever that means, probably, I don't know, pizza or something. I don't know. What's a traditional American meal? But, I promised I would give him a hug, cook him a traditional American meal, and at least visit him once before I die. I will still do those things regardless if I am in a relationship or not, and whether I am in a relationship with him or not. But I do not want to do anything that could potentially hurt these people. And for all I know, Steven could have lost complete interest in me at this point. I have no idea. And I won't have any idea until sometime from now. I won't know for a little bit, which is fine. It gives me time to work on myself and better myself mentally and emotionally, and to just work on me and do me and live my life. But this is going on so many different tangents, and I'm very sorry for that. But I feel like I'm demisexual, and I feel like Steven is my key, to put it lightly. Just to come out front and say it, I feel like I'm demisexual and that Steven is my key. But for all I know, he might not be. But I don't have any intimate attraction to Shane. And if there is some, it's not a lot. I'm not a very intimate person in general, but when I feel like I should be, I'm not. And I feel like that's okay. But at the same time, I've only been intimate with one person. Like, I've kissed many people, but I don't feel like kissing qualifies as intimacy, personally. But I love Steven. I love Shane. And I am very confused. I feel like I feel like Steven is my key. And I'm very confused. So I guess for lack of a better word, this is just more of an update and a brain dump than it is an actual video, because I'm pretty sure the last video I made was about my 2020 resolutions and me going on a tangent about how much I dislike bras. But I don't really have much else to say other than that. If Steven or Shane is watching this video, I love you both. Like I said in the beginning, you are both amazing men. I doubt you're watching this, but maybe. And I don't have much else to say other than that. I know this was more of like a rant video as opposed to anything really planned, but this has been a video I've wanted to make for the past week, and I finally pulled the trigger and did it. Just like I pulled the trigger and bought a new laptop yesterday. But I love you all, and I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I hope that everything you want to happen this weekend happens this weekend, and that everything is good in your lives. And if you're having a little bit of a bad day, I hope that things get better and that things improve. But for right now, that's all I've got. And maybe I will bring back some more ukulele covers, because I haven't played ukulele on this channel in a hot minute. But I love you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.